All right, so this is going to be a really quick tutorial, and I'm going to show you how I create awesome thumbnails using Nano Banana. So before I get into the actual tutorial, I'm going to just show you really quick how good these thumbnails are. So I've been using them for the last 3 videos that I posted, and I just want to show you the click-through rates on these videos. So thumbnails really help your click-through rate. That's kind of the whole point of thumbnails, to have a really good click-through rate. And this got a 6.2% click-through rate. That is like super high for a YouTube video. At least for me, that's like really, really high. If I go to another video, the second video that I use this method for, this click-through rate is at 7.4%. Again, super high. And then this one that just came out, it usually starts out low until they start showing it to more people, and then it gets better. This one's at 4.6, still above my average for a click-through rate. But usually as these impressions get to like 5, 10,000, the click-through rate actually goes up typically from these new thumbnails. So I'm going to show you how I make these. These are super professional thumbnails. And actually the thumbnail I'm going to use for this video, I'm going to show you how I made that as well. So the process is really, really simple. So I come over to FreePick. Again, I use FreePick for this. You don't have to use FreePick. You can go to Google AI Studio. I'm going to link you to both. I just find that FreePick is so much easier to use, at least for me. And then I use it for a million different other things. And so I really like it. I'll put a link to it in the description. I'm not affiliated with them. I'm not being paid by FreePick in any way, but I do really like their product. So let me show you really quickly how I was able to make some of these thumbnails. So let's start with the first thumbnail I showed you, which is this one right here for this video here that's got about 12,000 views right now, which for me is awesome. And I'm going to show you how I did it. So I basically started with a prompt. I said, a man with a director's hat holding a clapper in a director's chair with a movie set behind him. He's holding a small banana, YouTube thumbnail style. Okay, that's all I wrote. Now I asked for a 16:9. It did not give me a 16:9. That is one issue that you have with Nano Banana sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't give you a 16:9. But if you prompt again, it usually does. So I basically asked for it again. And then I asked it to replace it with my face. So I used one of the image references here, and I put this image that it created, and I put my face, and I said, remove the words on top and change the person's face to this one. Now, it didn't change the face, so I added one more. I did it one more time. So again, you're going to have to do this a few times, right? It's not going to happen like instantly every time. But I said, again, remove the words on top and change the person to the one attached. Also remove the yellow border because it had this like ugly, annoying yellow border. Boom, we're starting to get really close to a potential YouTube thumbnail, right? It's starting to look really good. So I then said he's holding a small banana and a clapper, right? So I referenced this image here, right? So I downloaded that image, I referenced it here, and I said he's holding a small banana and a clapper. And that's how I got this one. And so I didn't like that I was looking off to the side, right, or whatever direction. So I put this image as a reference, right? And I said, move him more in the center of the image, and he's looking toward the camera, right? And so it gave me this. So we're getting really close to a great YouTube thumbnail, right? I didn't like that I wasn't smiling here, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. So I came back again, and I said, he's smiling and looks slightly stronger. It gave me this hilarious chipmunk smile, this like weird chipmunk smile, kind of a little bit like Mr. Beasty, kind of, not to, make fun of Mr. Beast, but it did kind of give me a little bit of that chipmunk look. So, and then I also said, and looks slightly stronger, because I felt like in the last one, I looked like kind of like a little wimpy here, like for whatever reason. So I said I look slightly stronger and I'm smiling. I tried it again, and I said he's smiling naturally and looks slightly stronger, and it gave me a much more natural smile, right? And so I thought this actually started to look really, really awesome. So I pretty much wrapped it up right there. I did one more with the he's smiling naturally and looks slightly stronger, but I really was happy with this one. So it's a 16:9, and this is perfect. All I have to do is add text to it. Now, the only problem is it gave me this image as a 1344 by 768. So I didn't think the quality was high enough. So I upscaled this. I just hit upscale right here. Another reason why I like FreePick, you can just upscale whatever you create. I did a 2x upscale, and it gave me an image that was 2688 by 1536. And if I come back here just real quick, I'll show you what the final product looked like. And then I brought it over to Canva. So here was the final product. And so it did change a little bit when I upscaled, but it brought me a higher quality image, right? And again, an awesome YouTube thumbnail starting point. So then I basically just took that over to Canva, and I added text right on top of it. So Canva has a bunch of templates for text. I'm using the impact prompt here. By the way, you don't have to use Canva for this. You could use Photoshop. You could use whatever you want. I happen to have a Canva account. And it's basically just text with a black shadow here that says Nano Banana with this impact font. One is yellow, one is white. And I added that text. What's the text I put for this thumbnail? Create full films using Nano Banana, right? Super simple, really nothing crazy. And boom, you have a solid YouTube thumbnail, okay? And that's basically the whole process. I'm gonna show you how I did this again, right? So I asked for, this is for the next video. I said a YouTube thumbnail style image of a man directing a Coca-Cola commercial, no text in the image, YouTube thumbnail style with the man centered in the image and looking directly at the camera. He's holding a small banana. This is what it gave me at first. Obviously, this is terrible. I literally just ran the exact prompt again, and it gave me an awesome thumbnail, right? So then I took this, I upscaled it, and then I dropped it in Canva, and we were good to go, right? That was basically it. Super duper simple. I actually tried to add my face to it. It just did not work. It kept using his face. I guess this face is so close to my face that it just was, I guess they thought that my face looked enough like this guy's face that it kept the face. That's fine. I upscaled it and I brought it over to Canva and created that thumbnail. Now this one, I did something similar. So I used my face, again, using Nano Banana. I used the same image of me and I said a YouTube thumbnail image, style image of someone doing a lip sync with graphics over the voice, no text, 16:9 aspect ratio, use the person in the reference image as a person doing the lip sync, not cartoonish, serious but cool, YouTube thumbnail style image, right? So I really like emphasized that I want a YouTube thumbnail style image. This one kind of sucked. It was okay. I ran the same prompt over and over again. I didn't mess with the prompt. This one kind of sucked. This one kind of sucked. And then this one I thought actually was really good. I thought that was pretty good. I thought it could have been a little bit better, and I'm sure if I wanted to, I could have sat here. So I tried one more time. Again, this one wasn't great. And so I basically said, this one's good enough. Let's roll with it, right? I can add text to this. I upscaled it, as you can see here. And then I brought it over to Canva and created, just added some text. This is the Anton font I'm using here with a little black shadow, yellow again, yellow, white for YouTube videos for whatever reason seems to work pretty well. And boom. And so that's basically the whole process. Now, if you want to see how I made the last thumbnail I just created for this one, so I actually tried this new model called Seed Dream. So it's brand new. It's Seed Dream 4K. Because I wanted to see how good of a job it would do. And I did the exact same thing. I said a YouTube thumbnail style image of this guy holding a banana in one hand and a card in the other with a studio behind him. I mean, the consistency of my face is honestly almost perfect and it looks pretty good. I just didn't think it had that YouTube thumbnail style to it. I tried again and it was closer. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it just wasn't what I was looking for. So then I tried, Old Faithful here, Nano Banana. Awesome. Really great. Now it had this text here and I'm holding like an ace of spades for whatever reason. So I basically asked for the same prompt and I said, remove the text, no text behind him. So basically the same prompt, I just changed it a little bit and I said holding a banana and a card in the other, no text, and boom, awesome YouTube thumbnail style image, right? Upscale this and we have our thumbnail. And that's basically the whole process, guys. I mean, this is super duper simple and these are really high quality, high click-through rate thumbnails. So I wish I had seen someone else post a video like this earlier. I thought this was super duper useful. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please like this video. It really does help me out a lot. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel and please drop a comment. Let me know what you're doing with this if you're able to succeed and create some awesome thumbnails as well.